Been a while since I came on YouTube. Hello, I have one person in here. How is everyone? It's probably early for me to come on live at the moment. Maybe that's why no one is on, but I have one person in here. Uh, it's been a long time since I've been live. Hi, oh, it's you, Squill. Hey, Squill, how are you? How have you been? How's everything? Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Happy New Year! My birthday passed. JOA official Cash App. Yes. How's everyone? Squill, did you move yet? Did you move to the UK? Did you do anything yesterday for New Year's? It's been a long time. What? Really? What happened? I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's been a long time since I came on here. It's been maybe 4 months, 5 months. Really? Wow. Oh, I'm sorry that happened. I didn't mean to laugh. Mm. So I feel like I abandoned everyone else here for over 2 years. Wait, you guys just got married though, not too long ago. So how is everyone else? How is everyone else in the comments? We know each other almost 3 years. Oh, so you guys were going to like mental health classes, right? You guys took a lot of classes together for your mental health, correct? Yeah. I mean, the arrangement was a little bit off because that person, he lives in another country, you live in a different country, so it's a little bit off the arrangement. You know, everything happens for a reason. I don't celebrate Christmas. You know that. I mean, I like the holiday, but normal day. Normal day. I every year I don't do anything. Like I'm alone every year. Even growing up, like holidays were not a big thing in my family. So, even like birthdays were not really a big thing. I mean, you get a little cake, maybe some money. I put a tree and give presents. But aren't you Muslim? Yeah. I mean, I love Christmas and, grown up watched movies like The Christmas Story and, stuff on Disney. But again, it's just like Christmas is something that my family doesn't celebrate because Muslims don't believe that Jesus died on a cross. Muslims believe that God saved Jesus, right? And so, we don't celebrate it, but again, I love just the holidays and everything, and stuff, and I like looking at the lights and you know. So happy birthday! You want me to sing you happy birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Glinda. Happy birthday to crazy. Happy birthday. My birthday just passed not too long ago. I feel like the time flies. Time just keep flying. Sooner or later, I'll be 40. Like, it's just going to be around the corner. So, last night I was singing some Ed Sheeran. What's that song called? I think it's called Perfect. I love that song. How old did I turn, should I say? I found a love for me. Darling, just dive right in and follow my lead. I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Oh, I never knew you were someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. But darling, kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own. And in your eyes, you're holding mine. Baby, I love that song. Dancing in the dark. He's really talented. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm self-taught. I taught myself how to sing. I'm self-taught. I took one class. Like, I took one class when I was like 15. I took vocal lessons. And I remember I was singing a song. And the song goes like this. Listen to this lyric closely. Listen to the last word of the lyric real quick. And tell me what you think it sounds like. Okay, listen to it. You know I never want to hurt you. What does the last line of the word sound like? You know I never want to hurt you. Choo, choo. So when I said that, she goes, it's you, not Jew. I'm a Jew. That's what my vocal teacher said. So it's, you know I never want to hurt you, not Jew. But I meant to say chew. It sounded like you're saying chew, but it sounded like Jew. You know, it's not something really to be laughing about, but, you know, she's like, it's not Jew. I'm a Jew. It's you. You know, so. But yeah, other than that, like, I'm self-taught. So, I found love for me. Darling, just dive right in and follow my lead. I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Oh, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in. And I like the other song by him. What's the other song? Honey Now. It goes something like, honey now, take me into your loving arms. Kiss me underneath the dancing stars. Kiss me under the heated heart. Baby, we found love right where we are. What's that song called? We found love right where we are. I forgot the name of it, but I like it. Honey now, kiss me. Let me look it up. I don't know the name of this song. Kiss me. I think, is it called Kiss Me? Baby, we found love. Right. Thinking Out Loud. That's the name of it. Thinking Out Loud. Thinking Out Loud. That's my other favorite song. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I've abandoned you all. I'm sorry. I apologize. Squeal, you're still here? When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can sweep you off of my feet. Will you never remember this, my love? There's a guy on YouTube that literally does videos about he's a musician. He films he goes to different places and he films and asks people to come and sing with him. And I've been watching like so many of his videos. They're really good. I forgot his name, but just he asks random people to sing and stuff. So yeah, so election season is this year. Election season. When your legs don't work like they used to before. So how else you been, Squill? You been all right? I don't see my Cash App ringing. Come on, you all. So I know there's been a lot going on with Israel and Palestine, and I'm sure I was thinking about you all the other day. I'm like, I'm sure they're wondering like what I have to say about it and stuff like that. If Trump doesn't go in a race, I wonder who you'll vote for. I've never even said I was gonna vote for Trump. I extremely feel like it's wrong though to take someone's name off of a ballot. I don't care who you are, Biden, Trump. It's wrong. You don't do that. That's like Colorado, Maine. It's that's only going to make him like want it even more. So it's just wrong. You don't do that, And so it's coming, it's just coming to a place where we're becoming like a communist country, right? Like China or something. And it's like you don't forfeit someone's name off of a ballot. You understand? And so it's like that's called fake. That's called rigging an election right there. You don't do that. And so it's just not right. And so it tells me it's like if you guys actually feel like he's not a good president, that he doesn't have the chance of winning, then make it a fair election. Why take the man off the ballot? If they think that he's not going to win. So that just tells me that it's not a fair election if you just happen to have different states take him off the ballot. It's not cool. I may go vote. I really don't, because I don't like voting. Because number one, you are in the pool for jury duty, and I don't want to do that. So it's like I really don't vote much, and I really don't believe in national elections. I don't believe that it's 100% accurate, especially with them taking him off of ballots. It's only going to make people write his name in. Like, come on now. But yeah, I only watched one of the debates with I only watched one debate, one Republican. I didn't watch the 3 or 4 of them left, and it's just crazy. We don't have a lot of options. I already knew, because I told you guys about this, about Vivek. I already knew he was gonna be like the star, because he's been doing really well. And this is someone who wasn't really known 6-7 months ago. I knew who he was, but a lot of people didn't know who he was. And this is someone that is beating like big names and like Mike Pence and Chris Christie. But to me, those aren't really big names, because again, Mike Pence doesn't have a personality. Was a secretary, which is to me a vice president. You're a secretary. You're only assigned 1 or 2 jobs. And Chris Christie was like a governor and a mayor of New Jersey. A flip flopper is not really trustworthy. And then you have, what's her name? Nikki Haley, again, not trustworthy, flip flopper. I like Vivek. I do like him. But my thing about Vivek is I do worry about his allegiance to India, because yes, he's first generation like me, but at the same time, you still have close relations to the country your parents come from. And so if you want to be president, that's my only hesitation about him, is like your only benefit should be first and second to America, first and last. That's it. No other country. And so that's my hesitation about him. And simply because one of my governors, he was Indian, right? Or he is Indian, but I think he's first generation American like Vivek. And rumor was he was giving a lot of money from my state, from our tax dollars to India. It's like I don't want. And he ran for president, Bobby Jindal, in 2016, but he didn't make it that far. So yeah, that's my only hesitation about him. Other than that, I agree with most things that he said. It's my favorite breakfast. I learned that Palestinians eat fool. All Middle Eastern people eat fool. Fool means beans. So that's my only hesitation about him. That's it. But I don't know. I'm just gonna watch, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna go and vote. fava beans or green pepper. Yeah, it's it's good. Um, but in terms of the whole Palestine Israel situation, I would say this is like my first time within my decades of living on earth where I've seen a lot of support for Palestine. Like it's just because now the kids that were once kids when I was a kid are like 20 years old, 18 years old. And so they grew up with social media and they're able to see a lot of clips that corporate media hasn't shown, you know, and so it's gotten it's I would even argue now that it's probably even more support than Israel, like the people at least. It's getting more and it's increasing. It was never like that, you know. Um and so what I don't like about the media is them talking about, oh, it's been 50 years. No, it's been longer than 50 years. Like, you know, that situation has happened long before Hamas was established. Hamas was established in 1987. That situation happened even past 1948, before 1948 even happened. And so it's just a lot of misinformation from the media. The people who are saying is misinformation, aka The View, are the people who are giving out the misinformation. And so I don't like. I remember at 9 years old, this is when I knew I wanted to be in media. 19 years old, I remember watching CNN at 19 years old, literally watching Wolf Blitzer, who's still at CNN, right? Who used to be a part of APAC, which is like today's ADL, Anti Defamation League, and who also used to work for Israeli media. I used to watch CNN lie, honestly, lie about what's going on over there. Literally, lie. This is before social media existed, right? And so now I'm surprised when I see neutral articles, neutral reports about what's going on over there. Even ABC, when ABC on The View had that journalist say, oh, there's a bomb going off and everything, and then there are a bunch of like military Jews around him, to me that looked planned. Like when I see a reporter on TV running away from a bomb or a rocket or something, like all the time, that tells me it's planned. I don't believe it. I don't, you know. And so when Whoopi was like, oh, you know, be careful, da 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 da, we're going to the car. A lot of times those things are planned, you know. So I would say this though, like, because I know how Palestinians think. A lot of them, they want to get rid of Israel. I'm just being honest. They don't like Jews. A lot of them don't. They may say we want peace, but a lot of them is just like they just don't like them. They want their land back. And so what I tell them is, and they get mad at me, is it's impossible. There's no way that you can just get rid of millions of people, even children who has nothing to do with what's going on. Where do they go? Like, and they're like, I don't care. They just need to leave. And I'm like, well, that's impossible. That's not going to happen. And so they get mad at me when I'm like, well, that's true. It's not going to happen, you know. And so it's like, you guys need to learn how to get along. That's what you need to do. Like, you know, like stop. You just guys need to learn how to get along. That's all. And so it's just not going to happen. They're not leaving. It is what it is. And so yeah, you know, it's just a bunch of Zada is suffering after their disgusting campaign against, I don't know who Zada is, doesn't deserve their land back. You know, but that's not going to happen. They're not going to get all of it back. And so, you know, yeah. And so before they were going to go to Israel, you know, after World War II, they were actually thinking about going to what's now today Kenya. But the British government voted against it because there were a lot of people in the British government in the 1940s, and probably arguably still today, that were Zionists, right? That wanted Israel to be a thing again. And so a lot of them were like, no, you need to go back to your homeland. And so that's when Great Britain decided to just give Israel half of the territory. And so Arabs did not like that. So in the 1940s, they had a war, the Arabs lost. In the 1960s, they had another war, Arabs lost. And as they continued to have wars and everything, the Jewish government decided to just accumulate more land. And so when I hear Hillary Clinton talk about 23 years ago that her husband, Bill Clinton, talked to what was now back then, Baruch, his name was, the Prime Minister of Israel, and how Yasser Arafat disagreed with the land division. Well, because the first deal was not fair. You know, they went to him 2 times. He said no twice, right? And so we all know that America always had the backs of Israel all the time. I mean, a lot of people even say that Israel is the 51st state of America. That's just how it is. 51st. Like, that's how much we support them. And so when I heard her say that on The View the other day, I'm like, well, the deal was not fair, first of all. And then there were other people that were telling me that Yasser Arafat was also threatened by like people in his circle, saying if you take this deal, like, you know, something's gonna happen, right? And there were rumors that he was poisoned and killed, right? And so it's like there's a lot of stuff we don't hear about behind the scenes, you know. So she was like, 23 years ago they could have had their land. I'm like, girl, you know, it wasn't a fair agreement, you know. So, but yeah, so anyways, they're not gonna get their land back. It is what it is. They just need to get along and coexist into peace, and that's it. You know, happy birthday, Glenda. Palestinians deserve land back. Zara suffering, boycotting is working. Hi from Palestine. I learned that Palestinians eat food. Trump isn't going to raise. I don't even know if I ever had food before. I mean, let me look it up. I mean, it's not just, it's the whole Arab region culture. Like, it's very common, but let me look it up. See if I ever ate it. No. Well, maybe I have. But I don't recall my family making this. But maybe it looks like I ate it before. Or, I don't know. My birthday's on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Zomad. Happy birthday to you. My birthday passed too. Just passed. So yeah, I mean, again, it's just not gonna happen. They're not gonna get their land back. They just need to coexist and get along. And so with me personally, it's like, I'm happy. I wouldn't want it any other way. I tell people this. I would leave. Like, so you know how there's a lot of black folks that want reparations here? It's like a lot of them, they're offered money to leave their land, like millions of dollars, and a lot of them, they're like, no. And so it's like, if they don't want money, I mean, that's their right. If they want to say that's their right. If they want to fight, okay, whatever. But me personally, I would leave, because it's like, you don't want to live in a world where you don't have access to certain things, or, you know, you're limited to certain things, or just, you know, if you want to have a family, you want to have a legacy, and you want to have a legacy, you don't want to live in a world like that, you know. And so I'm glad that I was born in America. So yeah, like, I'm glad I don't have to worry about something, you know, going on or whatever. So yeah, thank you. I just sang you happy birthday. You're not gonna thank me? Hold on, my alarm is going off. Ugh. Yeah, so anyways, I don't want to live in a world like that. And so, like, and then a lot of the Arab countries, like like Jordan, like Egypt, like Saudi Arabia, they have a peace treaty with Israel, you know, and that doesn't mean they like them. Personally speaking, like, I don't think they like them. It's just, the thing is, the reason why they have a peace treaty is because they can't win against America. That's just how it is. You understand? So it's business, right? Because I know in the hearts of a king, you know, Saudi Arabia, or like the queen in Saudi Arabia, she's Palestinian, but her husband is Jordanian. Like, I know in their hearts that they want Palestine to be fully like Palestine, right? But it's like, there's no win against America. So it's like, you have to do what you have to do, right? I said thank you. Oh, you did say thank you. I'm sorry, I missed that. I didn't see it. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. That's all. But I would say this, like, growing up, I hated hearing that word anti-Semitism. It's just like anti-Semitism, blah, 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 blah. Like, it was so annoying, because even if you spoke out against the government, you were called anti-Semitic, right? You know, Like that was even not a thing. So they would use a word that, you know, actually happened to Jews and then use it in a way where it showcases propaganda, right? It's kind of like how the media use racism today. You know, it's like racism exists, you know, existed, it still exists, but not as much as it did in the past. But the media uses it to capitalize, to get views and stuff like that. It's the same thing. Um, and so I always hated hearing that growing up, you know. And so it's like even my father would talk about it like, yeah, like you say anything, even if it's true, they'll call you anti-Semitic, you know. And it's like you're calling the people who are Semites anti-Semitic, which makes no sense. It's literally like calling um it's literally like calling like a white person who kills a white person a white supremacist. It doesn't go together, right? Or it's like calling a white person that doesn't like white people racist. It doesn't make sense, you know. It's like you can't literally call the people anti anti-Semitic when literally that's who they are to the core. That's their DNA. They're Semites. It just makes no sense. And so that's where propaganda happens, you know. So yeah. And then on TV, you have to be really careful with how you communicate your commentary towards, you know, Israel. You know, it's always been that way. You just got to be careful with what you say. So um, so yeah, squeal. Yes, I mean, it's nothing new, you know. And I kind of felt like something big was going to happen. I remember like a year or two ago, something big happened. I forgot what it was. And they were trending on Twitter. And so many people were like, this is what's happening over there. I never knew that, you know. And so I had a feeling something like this was going to happen because the Saudis um, were going to go talk to Netanyahu about like, you know, some sort of peace to happen over there. And so like I kind of felt like something was going to happen because that was coming about peace, right? I'm glad you're alive. I'm glad you're on live, you mean? You're on live. And so this is a big problem. It's um like America, we create so many extremist groups. Like America contributed to the creation of ISIS, Taliban, and there has been rumors that even Israel contributed into the creation of Hamas, right? There's always been rumors. I believe even Mahdi Hassan, he's on MSNBC. Well, I really don't watch MSNBC, but there's a video on YouTube of him talking about the history of Hamas and how Israel leveraged from that. It's still on YouTube and you can watch it. And so it's like this is why I don't like the wars and stuff like that. It's because literally in America, in Afghanistan for over 20 years, we contributed to that. You know, we contributed to the Taliban, you know, and ISIS and everything. So it's like, why should I enlist in the military over something that the government did, right? It's the same thing with Chat GPT. It's like we are messing with shit that we really don't know. The power that it can be down the line, you know. So it's like I'm scared about this whole Chat GPT stuff. It's getting too crazy, you know. So yeah, you know. Israel created October. So you're funny. Thank you for being 6 feet above ground. What does that mean? What does that mean? I honestly don't relate to Arabs. I'm more American. I really don't. I don't really relate to them that much because I really don't think like them. Um, you know what I mean? So like I'm more American. You know, I call myself an American. I don't really call myself like a person of color, which I hate that. To me, that word is weird. You know, that word did not exist, that phrase or whatever you want to call it, it did not exist 10 years ago or 5 years ago. You know, someone called me that recently and I'm just like, you know, that's I'm not a person of color. I don't like that. I'm a person. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a human being. I don't do the whole color stuff. You know, it's kind of like when Raven Simone said she's not African American, she's American. I'm like, if that's how she feels, that's how she feels. You know, it's just like, yeah, I'm not a person of color. I'm not a minority. To me, that makes you feel like you're an object and you're seen as you are inferior, and I'm not inferior. Like I'm superior. I don't believe in those phrases. I don't like those phrases. it demonizes the person. I don't like that. Um, so so yeah, I don't really relate to them. You know, and arguably sometimes I have issues with them and how they are and how they think. You know, so but yes, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I would also say there's a bias between um, people like me who are born in America and people overseas. Like there's a bit of a prejudice that goes on. Oh, he's not like us. He was born in America. He's like this. He's westernized. He's Americanized. Da 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 da. You know. So I never really like related to, or not related, but I really didn't really care for them. I always kept my distance, you know, from Arabs and stuff like that, because you know, messy and drama and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, and the more that I see stuff that happens in other places, and the more that I see like how certain countries are, the more proud I am to being an American, you know. Um, because it's just like a lot of places they don't have freedom. They can't say anything. They can't talk about their government, you know, publicly. They think a certain way because they've been sheltered, you know, all their lives, and it's just like that's not a world that should be suitable to anyone. So yeah. So yeah, someone the other day asked me, they were like, would you, they were like, if you had to choose to live in America, and I knew the question, I said America. Before the person finished the question, I said America or overseas, where I'm like, America. Before he even finished, I'm like, America. Like, that's not even a question. Like, you know, like America's the best country in the world. There's no better place like America. A lot of them have been too. Like for the past 7, 8 months, I've been teaching a lot of people from Saudi Arabia, and a lot of them they're like, "Don't eat at McDonald's, da, 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 don't eat at Starbucks," and it's just like, you know, I don't even eat McDonald's anymore, and Starbucks, I rarely go to Starbucks. But yeah, so just like, you know, it's just like it's a movement. It'll die down in 3 months, 6 months. It'll die down again. It's just like there's a high end movement of people being activists, and then it'll die down. You know, even when I was in college, there was this like Arab club, whatever, and then there was this people that wanted me to attend this lecture. So there were like some Jewish people that were coming to, I believe, talk about Israel, like, you know, at my college, and they had some Palestinian people, some Arabs. They were trying to recruit people to get together so they can literally be in an auditorium to start something, to call out, you know, Israel and everything. And some people asked me, I said, no, I'm not a part of that. Like, you know, I don't want to be a part of it. And the next thing you know, the next day there was an article about it. You know, it's like, I don't want to be in an article about that. And I'm not a part of that. You know, and I actually told the girl, she was Christian, a Christian girl. I think she was Arab. I'm like, it's stupid, you know? Like, you know, me being at some damn lecture hall talking about what Israel is doing to me, it's a waste of time, you know. And so I said, no, you know, I don't want to do it, you know. And then like they tried to get my number, and then literally years down the line, this happened like a year or two ago. They had some person that randomly texted me. I'm like, who is this? How did you get my number? They're like, my name is so and so. And I'm like, well, how did you get my number? They're like from the club from school. I'm like, what do you mean? I was never in that club. So I'm like, how the fuck did you get my number? You know? So yeah, Subway. That one was hard. I don't eat Subway. Subway, not because they support. I don't know if they support Israel or not. You know, but to me, I don't eat Subway because their tuna is fake, and Jared Fogle. What's his name? Jared Fogle. And it's just their bread doesn't even taste real. So yeah. So yeah, you know. It's like there's evolution. The world evolves. You know what I mean? It's like we celebrate Thanksgiving here in America. There's people in North Dakota, people in Alaska who are Native Americans. They don't celebrate Thanksgiving because it's a bad day for them. And hey, if that's how they feel, that's how they feel. But that doesn't mean that I don't like them if I say I love America and I'm an American and stuff like that. So just like the world just evolves and things happen, and you know, it is what it is. And honestly, like that's not my world, like over there, you know. It's not my world. And for like all of my life, I couldn't really stand like my own people. Like, and I still can't sometimes either. Like I never really liked them that much. And it's changed. Like the culture has changed. Like it's more liberal now. Like back then it used to be super conservative. Like so, oh my God, like really conservative. Like to the point where it's like Saudi Arabia, a lot of people when they hear Saudi Arabia, they think of terrorism or crime or Al Qaeda or something like that. But literally, Saudi Arabia is like safer than America, believe it or not. It's actually really safe. Um, but Saudi Arabia is becoming liberal. Like literally, their capital city, Riyadh, there's multiple nationalities there to the point where 25 years ago, if any race would have went to the capital, people would be looking at you because it's not the norm for someone to not be Saudi nationality to be in their country. And so now they're becoming liberal. What I mean by that is because in 2018, like a woman is no longer allowed, she doesn't have to wear the hijab around her head, right? A woman can drive, a woman can be in politics. But not only that, those aren't normal things. Not only that, it's just like the way women dress now. To me, as an American, it's weird, because my mother like raised us as if we were born overseas. So it's like to me, when I see a girl that is Arab, that is Muslim, showing her cleavage and her hair being down and makeup and everything, she looks like an American girl, but she's from Saudi Arabia. So to me, it's a little weird. So yeah, they're becoming slowly but surely liberal. They're serving alcohol now, right? Alcohol is banned in Saudi Arabia, but now they're serving it, and so they're becoming Americanized slowly but surely, and so like 20 years ago, it was not like that. It was super like they didn't even have a movie theater. Like to me, a cinema was banned, and now they have movies now. Film industry now. So it's like it's becoming modernized, like America, and you know, I wish alcohol was banned everywhere. But I would say there's a lot of Arabs over there. They like Trump. The Saudi Arabs, it's different. You have to think about environment and location. So a lot of the Saudi Arabs, they love Trump. They like him. Maybe a lot in America, they don't like Trump. A lot of them don't. But the ones over there, they love him. They don't like Joe Biden. And I agree with them. Like, I can see why they like Trump and they don't like Joe Biden, right? The people in America, a lot of them, which they're waking up. It used to be like 80% voted Democrat, 88%. Like they were like on the line with black folks. Now it's like 50, 60%. So slowly but surely people are waking up about that party. And so yeah. But yeah. Now Iran, I may not respect the Iranian government and I may not like what they do, but at least Iran is saying that we're not going to be a puppet to America, and we're not going to change our ways and our laws just because America is doing what they're doing. Because you have to understand, all of these countries literally have eyeballs on what we do. Literally every single country, they look at what we do. Literally the feminist movement is overseas. Literally the feminism, and to me the feminist movement is a problem, right? And so it's like when I hear an Egyptian Muslim girl tell me that I want to be equal to a man, that's a problem, and I'm like, well, what do you mean equal to a man? She's like, well, I want to have a college degree, but I want to stay at home. I'm like, what does that have to do with feminism? She's like, well, I don't want to be seen as less than. I'm like, well, you're a woman, so you're technically less than a man, physically speaking. But just because you have a college degree and you raise your kids at home doesn't make you like your value less than. And so the feminist movement now is so toxic. It's really toxic, highly toxic. And so it's strange when I hear a Muslim Arab girl say, that's not even from America, say that, she wants to be equal to a man. To me, that's really weird. And this is what liberalism is today. It's highly radical and highly toxic, And so that's my thing about it. But it's coming to the point where it's like it's weird. It's you understand? It's just like they copy everything that comes out of America, And so me, it's just like I may not agree with our Iranian government and what they do, but I have respect for a country that says we're not going to copy what another country does. We're gonna do our own customs, our own traditions, our own way of life. And to me, I respect that. You understand? I respect that. And so yeah. So like a lot of them, they feel like if you are born in America, you live in America, you have Maseratis, you have a Bentley, you have a lot of money, you're rich, you're highly educated. I'm like, no. That's not true. So it's like the Hollywood. That's what they know. It's like whatever they see on TV, the Leonardo DiCaprio from like Titanic or Will Smith, and all of these people, Tom Cruise that are on TV, that are in movies. That's what they know, and so they feel like America's like a melting pot full of money. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. It's like there's a lot of opportunity here. You have to work your ass off to get it. So yeah, it's a little bit weird. Um, that it's changing the essence of what it means to be a Muslim. To me, it's a little bit weird. And at times growing up, I'm like, I wish we did this way as opposed to that way. But to me, it's change is good, and change is good. But the thing is like the change is becoming extreme, like really extreme. It's too fast. Um, and so I don't really agree with the change, because I have family members who are girls that were raised in America, right? But at the same time, you're like, we don't care that you're an American. You're gonna be raised like a Muslim woman. You understand? You're not gonna date. You're not. You're gonna cover your body. So it's like as an American, it's still weird to hear a girl from Egypt or from the Middle East say that she wants to be equal to a man. Because number one, you're not equal to a man. Physically you're not. And number two, men and women have their own. They have their own like traits, right? So it's a little bit. It's weird to me, strange. So yeah, Middle East needs feminism. I mean, I'm just like, do what you do. I don't care. They had one girl. This is in 2018. This happened everywhere. It's an international story, and I personally believe this is probably why Saudi lifted their laws, because there was a girl who literally escaped her family. Her name is Rahaf Muhammad. First of all, she didn't tell her full story, but I remember in 2018 watching this on YouTube, like the full interview. She couldn't speak English, so she had a translator translating from Arabic to English. And she was saying that her mother and her brother wanted to force her to get married. From my knowledge, her parents are divorced, so she lives with her brother and her mother. And so when the father's out the house, the next man in line is the head of the household. So now the brother makes the decisions, is the head of the household. And so she said that her brother wanted her to get married. And so what she did was she was on vacation in Kuwait, and she had to go back home, and she really didn't go into detail as to why they wanted her to get married. And so anyways, she skipped that part. At least the interview I watched was skipped. And so after her vacation to Kuwait, she, instead of going back home because she knew that she had to get married, she literally like escaped and then went to Thailand instead and locked herself up in a hotel, literally went on Twitter and announced to the world that her parents, her brother and her mother, wanted her to get married, right? And so a journalist on Twitter saw her video and contacted her. She had an interview, and she literally locked herself up in a hotel. And then they had people knocking on her door while she was at the hotel, and she was scared. She was thinking maybe that the people who are knocking on her door was like the police, and they were going to bring her home or listen to, like, her family or something and bring her home. But in actuality, her video got so big that Justin Trudeau from Canada saw it, and now she lives in Canada. So Justin Trudeau welcomed her to Canada or whatever. And so what she missed in that interview was that she had a son through wedlock. So she had sex with a man in Kuwait on vacation, and have a child. That was not disclosed in the interview. So that's why her parents wanted her to get married to that man that she decided to, be promiscuous and have sex with him and have a kid from, right? So she didn't talk about that. And so there were certain elements of that interview was missing. And there's something that she said in that interview that made me question a little bit more her sexuality. So she's a bisexual woman. And that's something that's unheard of, at least publicly in Saudi Arabia. That's against the law to be gay or LGBT. And so, literally, when you look her up on Instagram, when you look at this girl, you would not even think she's from Saudi Arabia. Like, and so on her Instagram, my God, half naked, she has an OnlyFans, and like, you would not even think that, she's from that country. And so And so yeah, she had a child, and so that's why they wanted her to get married, because it's like you had sex before marriage, and that's not tolerable in the Muslim religion. I mean, actually, back in the day, you would get killed. If this was 30, 40 years ago, they would kill you, right? For doing that, probably. Or find a man and kill him, you understand? That's not like saying black and white people aren't equal. What? Feminism? Well, no, physically, a man is not equal to a woman. Physically, by bone structure, they're not. I know in the new world, new times, we're saying men can have babies. Physically, a man is stronger than a woman. I mean, that's just science, right? But anyway, so yeah, so now she lives in Canada, and oh my gosh, she speaks English. She talks like a rapper. She speaks slang English, and you would think that this girl is an artist or a rapper or something the way she speaks. And yeah, so the change is I don't know. I just tell people, do what you want to do. I don't care. I don't. It's not my business. I don't care. I mean, I have my opinion about it, but you know, it's not my life. I don't care. But yeah, and this girl, she comes from a rich family. Like her parents have a lot of money. She lives in like a 7 bedroom house. She has a book she wrote and everything. Like she comes from a lot of money. Had maids, had cars, had everything. And so yeah. Men are stronger, but that does not mean we are not equal. Well, when I say equal, I'm talking about physically. Now I don't really like this equal pay stuff. I don't agree with it. The equal pay to me is a problem, because to me it's like I don't think to me it's like people should get paid based off of like what they bring to the table, what their experiences are, and stuff like that. So what I mean, like I have issues with certain things that are happening now. I don't agree with it. I'm just like, just hire people because they're knowledgeable, because they do well in the interview. Don't hire someone because you want to fill out a quota, or because they're a Korean, Chinese, da 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 da, whatever. Just like hire someone because they're qualified. That's all. It's simple. That's it. That's my thing. So yeah, so she's in Canada. She has a lot of followers and stuff, and a lot of girls want to be like her. But they're scared. They're scared. And so when I see a lot of the girls that are Middle Eastern and they're Muslim, and then they act differently in person, like they act very aggressive, and they talk to guys and stuff like that. I know if I'm literally in their house and I'm talking to their mother and father, the girl who is Muslim, her eyes have to be on the floor, because she's not related to me. She's not my sister. She's not my wife. She's not my cousin. We're not related by blood, and she's not my wife. So this is the culture. This is how it is. Her eyes have to be on the floor, or she has to be in another room. That's just how it is. Like she can't look at me in the eye. You know what I mean? And so now with the change going on, it's just different. I've been eating a lot of cinnamon. I love cinnamon buns. I used to eat that a lot. Any foods you've been eating lately? Actually, yeah, I went to, and this is the first and last time I would do this. The first and last time. It's actually the second time that I went. I actually went and I tried Middle Eastern. It's called kibbeh. So think of a hush puppy. It looks like a hush puppy. It's really good. It's called kibbeh, and I wanted to try it because I've been watching this Syrian show on YouTube. It's like a comedy show to help with my Arabic and stuff like that, and they've been talking about it over and over again. And I was like, what, I'm gonna go to a store and I'm gonna actually order one and try it. And so when I tell you it was $7, it's like a hush puppy, the size, but it's like think of a lemon. The shape is like this. It's like double this size, whatever. So double this size, like maybe about that big. But yeah, like that big right there. $7 for one after tax. So I told the guy, wait, $7 for only one? I'm thinking I'm gonna get 3 or 4. He goes, oh no, there's pine nuts in there, da 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 da. And it was good, but I mean, one for $7? Are you serious? So I went to another store, and the guy was from Syria, and he was like, yeah, it's $7 here too because of the economy and everything. I'm like, God damn, I'm like, this is the first and last time. And then when I talked to some Saudi people overseas, I said, yeah, it's $7 here. They're like, wow, you can get like 5 of them or 4 of them for $3, three American dollars, you know? And so it was really good. And plus, like, I felt like since I told them I'm Arab and everything, I felt like I don't get the same customer service that someone does that's like from Germany, like their ancestors are from Germany, someone that's Caucasian, you know. And so yeah, so I'm like, this is the first and last time, you know, that I come here. I've been eating a lot of cinnamon, my any lowest foods. Yeah, men are stronger. But usually when I go, I just go to the grocery store and I buy a lot of like lean cuisines or you know, like there's this Japanese it's called yakashi, I believe. Yakashi. It's like Japanese noodles with vegetables. I buy it from the fridge and I just put it in the microwave. You know, or some spaghetti or something, you know. But yeah. Yes, men are stronger. But anyways, so it is what it is. When you were eating that soup, what soup? What soup? I know I gained. I don't think I gained all of my weight back, but you can tell. You can just tell that I've gained weight. That soup was not. That soup was from Trader Joe's. That soup was not Middle Eastern. It was from It wasn't. It wasn't a Middle Eastern soup. It was from Trader Joe's. No, I mean I still had some fat on me. I mean, but I just looked skinny like from here on up. Where's my cash? Where is my cash app? So yeah, I'm the same weight. Yeah, but I don't do New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in those. I used to when I was younger, years ago. Yeah, full looks like white beans. Actually, I believe I had it before. Is it like spicy? Does it have this tangy taste? Squeal? What's aqua size? What is that? Does the beans that you ate, does it have like a tangy it's like soury taste? I think I had it before. Yeah. It's also different colors. It can be like white looking. And you put it with, you get some pita bread, dip it in with some pita bread, and you eat it. I don't know why. I don't know why a lot of people are surprised about Will Smith, about the rumors. I mean, that's not surprising. I'm like, why are people surprised about the rumors? Like, come on now. You know? Like, I've been knew that. I even said it on here. When I used to come on here and do videos, let's talk about it all the time. Like, why are people surprised? I talked about it. Do you guys not remember me talking about how the original Fresh Prince, the character that played Will Smith, was supposed to be given to another rapper from New York, but he turned it down because when he found out that the guy who was the main man for the creation of the show was gay, his name's Benny Medina. He actually worked with Diddy. Hello. I think he managed Diddy actually, and Will Smith, I believe. And so someone that has no acting experience, who is a D-list rapper, getting a big show on Nickelodeon called Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. What do you think the man did just to get that fucking show? Come on now. Really? Allegedly. You know? So it's like, you know, let's be honest. This is why I miss Wendy, but I don't think Wendy even talked about this. I don't even know I don't even think she talked about it. But just like, because Wendy used to keep it real. It's like, why are people surprised? And it's so obvious. Here's another reason it was obvious. when Lisa Ray was on Wendy Williams, she low-key said that Dwayne was in rooms that he should not be in, right? And that he messed up her marriage, right? And so it's like, it's like low-key saying, that he's fruity, right? So it's just like, I don't know how people don't know that, or people are surprised. Or like, next thing you know, when there's things that's gonna come out about Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm like, well, why are you guys surprised? It's very like it's very obvious. People are so blind. Like, I don't know why people are so surprised about Will Smith and Dwayne Martin. This is why I miss Wendy. I don't even think Wendy talked about Will that way. I know on her radio she said some stuff and he put her in the song, but I don't know if she talked about sexuality or anything. But it's so odd. And then when you watch Will Smith, when you watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and you look at some old episodes, like, you can see it. You can see him being like, effeminate and stuff like that. When I was younger, when I used to watch, when you're a kid, you're not really thinking about that stuff. But it's really obvious, that he likes, So when when Tasha K came out with that interview with the guy talking and stuff like that, I'm like, well, why is this a surprise? By the way, I like how she get all of these exclusives. Like, I love the fact that she just gets these interviews and everything. If I really wanted to do that, I can do it, but it's a lot. It's just like, respect to her. It's like a lot of work that goes into doing all of that, And then there was rumors that Toni Braxton is not married to Birdman. I heard that she was married because her stepfather, Birdman's stepmother, actually owns a bar in New Orleans. So that's what I mean. It's like, if I really wanted to get interviews like that, I can, if I wanted to. But it's just like, it's a lot of, I'm too lazy for that. I'm too lazy to be doing all of that. But like, hats off to her to getting all of these like interviews and stuff. So yeah, hats off